renarspodcast.
Different.
It's crazy.
How was it for you to feel that?
What, to go out to Thailand?
Yeah, just experience like
Thailand is like, I can't explain the place. It's just the best place. Like, no, it's so laid back. Everyone's just so chilled. Everyone's just so happy. In terms of like fighting side of things as well, in England it can be made as just such a like it's a beef thing. If you're fighting someone, it's like you hate him, you want to kill him, everything like that. Out in Thailand, they don't care. They're out there having a laugh. Like, you go out there and you lose a fight, you'd be devastated, and they'll just be like, so you fight tomorrow, you win, you'll be happy again. They're like, it's a sport. And I think that's the bit I like about it, is the sport of it and the actual tradition, like the traditional style of it, the culture of it all. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
So what are the biggest competitions, like with biggest purses or whatever they call them, the biggest possibility to win money and win stuff?
In like Muay Thai, I'm pretty sure, I see it the other day, I think one release that they paid Rodtang the most ever purse for a Muay Thai fight, and I think it was only like 250 grand. Say only, it's a lot of money. But I mean, he's like,
you say only because you compare with the MMA and
if you compare it to boxing when they're
whatever.
getting like 10 mil and stuff like that, yeah. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other stuff you're getting with it, because you can get like the sponsorships and stuff like that. So that's where you're getting your money. And then obviously the more following you get, the seminars, all that other stuff, that's where you can get a lot more money and stuff from it. I think, to be honest, if you're doing Muay Thai, you should do it for the fact, like, and stuff like that, you should do it because you love the sport. And then that will progress you further. If you want to do it for money and stuff, you're probably better off going into boxing or something like that, maybe. That's what I think anyway. If you're in it for the money, I reckon go for boxing.
You should be like career advisor and
100%. Thai boxing is hard, man.
You want to like make a lot of money and don't do much? Go boxing.
If you're mental, do Thai boxing, because it's painful. It's so painful. Like, it's just you got injured left, right, and centre, and you just got to deal with it. It's like you break your toe. It's like, all right, you got 9 others. Carry on.
But I mean, like, listen, like, but all of those martial arts in a certain level, they are freaking all dangerous. You know what they were talking? I was just listening. They were talking about boxing. Yeah, boxing is like, it's, you know, gloves and just punch to the head. But at the same time, the injuries you get, like getting punched in the head over and over and over. Let's say if you do MMA, right? You get submit someone with a rear choke or whatever, so they're out. No one is hurt, and went on a skill. But also like Muay Thai as well would be like when they have those standoffishy kind of concept of I kick your leg, you kick my leg, I kick your leg till one of us drop. Like, fuck me. Shin flies in your head. It's like, it's nasty. Yeah, I'm like, I totally agree. And I think also it's from striking martial arts, it's the most devastating martial art there is.
I think so. I think so. Especially the way One Championship's doing it at the moment. And it's like to Muay Thai and them little 4-ounce gloves. It's mental. They're just standing there, banging it. It's crazy. It's probably the most entertaining thing you could watch. That and bare knuckle boxing, it's like so entertaining because it's just 2 people just standing there and having it. It's crazy. Like, how could you not
Earlier
like
you
it?
mentioned about how you said in the UK people almost make it personal. So like I need to kill you. Right? It's not like a sport. As you said, like Thai people, they're like, oh, just fun. So I was earlier thinking about this today when I thought I'm gonna have you over. How, like, in your experience, were you able to just differentiate and say like it's just a sport, or you would say like, okay, I need to, like, it's almost like a personal vendetta? Like, how is it for you? Yeah,
for me personally, I go for a bit of it can, to be honest with you, it sort of depends on what I'm going through at the time. I like to sort of, my last fight, I was just, because I've been out for like 8-9 months at the time. That's the longest I've had out since I started fighting. So for me, it was like, I was just excited to get in there and just show what I've learned and stuff like that and see how good I've got. So for me, that was good there. The one before that, it was like I had a point to prove. And then other times, I don't feel like I need to get in there and feel like I hate this person. I don't need to do that. I'm all right. But I know other people that really need to get riled up. They need to fucking want to kill the person. And then other people,
I don't understand that.
And other people are really relaxed. Other people can just be absolutely relaxed and chilling out, and then they go out there and get the job done. It just depends on the person and how they deal with the whole thing, sort of thing. Fighting's more of a mental game than anything.
So how would you deal with the situation? Like, let's say one day you are in the level of whatever, Muay Thai, or maybe you would go, MMA, maybe in the future. So if they have this like riling up and talking shit about each other, do you think you would be good at it?
I'd be up for it, to be honest. I'd be up for it for the banter. I remember it was my second fight, and it was the first time they ever done that sort of like, people come around and done like an interview and stuff like that. Yeah. And the guy I was meant to fight at the time, he was said, oh, I'm going to stop Sam in the 3rd round and XYZ and this and that. And it was quite funny because then I had to return back and just, I can't remember what I said, but I was just like, yeah, I'd like to see you try. But he ended up pulling out, so he didn't even fight me in the end.
Because it's very interesting to see, because some fighters are not the brightest pennies, are not the best with their mouth and verbal stuff, right? So sometimes you see someone just goes full on with like articulate, funny, like with punchlines, like a proper comedian, and the response is like, "I'll kill you."
It's the punches to the head. Like, some days are better than others. Like me and Martin, we'll be at the gym sometimes, and we'll be there, and like we just say things, and you just completely forget like you've done something, and we're both there like, "Oh, this ain't good. That CTE, be real. Oh, be careful." Yeah. Like back in the day, me and my mate Kibra, we used to literally spar so hard. Like I remember one time we was having these rounds. We must have gone about 8 rounds. We was kicking the life out of each other. We was hitting each other so hard, and then after. There was people watching and they were like, "Oh, you two all right? Like, you got a problem?" And we're like, "Nah, it's my best mate. Why? What's up?" He was like, "You two were trying to kill each other. It was going like 110%. I was like, "Yeah, nah, it's all right. We're fine." But you look back to it now and you think, "Cool, if I'd done that now, I probably wouldn't be able to remember my name."
So it's a huge part of conditioning each other, right? So it's like, like Muay Thai, those people who don't know much about Muay Thai, in Thailand, for example, or I've seen that also in Bali, they literally kick palm trees, like, And as a kid, I remember when I watched Van Damme movie when he was fighting Tampo, the guy with the long hair and whatever. So he would be also kicking palm tree, and Tampo was kicking like this pillar thing inside a room. And it does help. I remember I smashed my shins so, like, they were so conditioned that, because I was playing football still. And I remember we were going for the ball, me and this other dude, and we kicked at the same time, and we kicked literally each other in the shin. He collapsed.
He's fine.
I was fine. I didn't feel anything, and I just walked away, and I remember all my dudes were like, "What the fuck? What just happened?" So I understand, like, that's cool to condition that. It's just the question is, when is it becomes like it actually can be harmful for your body? Like, obviously, if you punch in the head, I'm not sure about the conditioning. Like, there's probably a certain amount is fine. When it's harder, then it can leave you with problems.
You gotta. I think everyone's different, but you got to monitor it. I don't think you should be hard sparring like all the time. Like in Thailand, they don't hard spar a lot, really. I remember I had this hard like spar with these boxers, and then for me it wasn't like too much of a hard spar. It's like a standard Thursday night for us at our gym. And then so I'm like, I was completely fine. And then next morning the coaches called me, the Thai coach Kay, and he's like, "Sam, you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. What's up?" He's like, "Sparring was too hard yesterday. You training today?" I was like, "Cool, Sam." I was like, "I'm fine." And then I walked into the gym later on, and he was like, "You don't spar like that down here." He was like, "It's too hard. If you want to spar like that, you can go and fight." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." Like,
so you would say that's one of the biggest differences between in UK and then in Thailand?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they will have hard spars, but they don't do hard spars all the time or as often. They do more like they like to play spar and do it more often. So it's sort of something I do with my clients now. Like, where you can do it light enough to the point where you're doing it bare shin, no gum shields, and you're still reacting, you're still firing the shots in, but no one's getting hurt. And then you can do it for longer, and you can do it every day because obviously you're not beating the life out of each other.
But then the question is like, which one prepares you better for the fight? Because I mean, it has to be the balance, right? So you do the play spar and whatever, and then you do the hard spar. So you do still condition your body, and you know, when you get on the fight, then you're ready for it.
Yeah.
But it's like, who decides and how do you guys monitor that balance? Like, let's say, obviously, Martin knows a lot and he helps you. What is his policy on that?
I feel like it's more, obviously, if you get knocked out or concussions and stuff like that, then there's a certain rules. You obviously definitely can't be sparring for like 30 days and stuff like that. But I mean, it's more like you got to keep track of it yourself at the end of the day. You're all adults. We've all got to make sure we know what we're doing. So like, we know the rules of what we're getting into. We know getting punched and kicked in the head isn't like good for you. Do you know what I mean? So, and you just got to keep an eye out for the signs of things like.
The wisdom you guys need to take from this: it's not good when you get punched and kicked in the head,
but it feels good when you do it, though. That's the thing. Like,
or when you receive it.
Even when you receive the kicks and punches.
No, the funniest thing, when I used to do karate, when I used to go to tournaments and stuff, every time I get punched in the face and almost like get knocked out, it felt pretty good.
Because
you feel a bit dizzy. You just like feel like you just drank like a bottle of champagne. I don't know.
I've never been hit to the point where I feel like I've been knocked out yet.
Really?
Nah, not really. I've had like a couple of flashes and stuff like that, but I've never been to the point I'm like, whoa, here we go.
So you've never been knocked out?
Nah.
Oh shit.
Not in fighting, nah.
Touch some wood. There's wood around. And so how many professional fights have you had? And when does it becomes like this is professional?
Well, technically, to be honest with you, it's one of them things. Like, if you wanted to, you could have a professional fight straight away. It doesn't mean you'd be any good. It doesn't mean you're going to go far with it and stuff like that. So, like, I had an N-class fight, which in England is basically like amateur rules sort of thing. So you got shin guards on, no elbows. I had 2 of them. And then I went to C-class, which is basically like semi-pro sort of thing, where it's bare shin. And then literally a week or 2 later, I then made my pro debut in K1. So that was two amateur fights, one technically semi-pro fight and one pro fight there, and then I went and fought in Thailand, which is obviously they just do straight pro rules anyway.
So for people who don't understand this stuff, like what is the difference between amateurs and pros fight?
Amateurs and pros. So basically, if you're an amateur fights, you're going to be having like the foam shin guards on. You're probably not going to be throwing elbows. If you are, you're going to have elbow pads on at push. Because they're starting to change the rules of it now. But it used to be N-class Muay Thai used to be basically just like amateur kickboxing. So you got shin guards on, no spinning back fists, no knees to the head, no elbows. And then you go C-class, which is the one above, which they just take the shin guards off, all the rules stay the same. And then it's like B-class, where you can knee to the head, but you can't elbow, which is like Pro K1 basically. And then you got Pro-Am, which is you can elbow and knee to the head, but you got elbow pads.
Jeez, there's so many classes.
There's so many classes.
I think they're going to change it. When you just naked.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much A-class. A-class who does bare elbows and the little tie shorts and the little monkong on your head.
Just go like naked, like yeah.
The shorts are getting shorter and shorter though, so it's not far off from that. To be fair. Yeah.
Just something falls out there.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that one. You got to be careful of that. But there's a lot of classes, but like I think they're starting to change it. I think what eventually what it will be is like it will be like amateur class but with elbow pads, and then it will be Pro-Am, and then it'll be A. 3 more classes, I think, which makes more sense.
And with regarding with countries and different rules and stuff, so would you say it's quite internationally like regulated, or each country would have some different?
I'm pretty sure each country, have different rules. Like I know in France, I'm pretty sure they can't do bare elbows out there. So yeah, a few countries have different things. Where in Thailand, for example, they've got the little nippers fighting bare elbows and knees to their head. They don't care. They're little kids. They're like this big and they're kicking the life out of each other. It's crazy. They're like 6 years old. Cutting the life out of each other.
How much did you learn about how is it in Thailand? Because as far as I remember, it's like some of them, like the families pretty much like raising a fighter.
Yeah.
So they like, that's it.
That's what they do, turn the money.
You're going to be a fighter. And they fight also for like
They fight for their family. They fight, because out there, like I said, you can fight sometimes like 3 times a week if you want, if not more. So,
but the money they make is very small, isn't it?
I think for my fight, it wasn't a massive fight. And I think I got like, it's not loads of money, but it was like 5,000 baht or something like that.
What was that? What's 5,000 baht in pounds or dollars?
My conversion rate's not that great. I don't think it was a lot. No more than like 200 quid, I think.
Okay.
You got to think, if you're doing that 3 times a week, you're getting like 600 quid nearly just for a few fights for a few fights.
Yeah, but how much you can get hurt?
Oh yeah, that's the only thing there, isn't it? But out there though, there's so many. They've got all the betting. They've got like, they get people that like take dives out there. It's fucking crazy. See some people, you hit them once and they just hit the deck.
Right.
I was thinking, yeah, for my fight, I'll probably get a tuk-tuk driver. That'll be all right. Make the return, fight a tuk-tuk driver, hit him with a couple shots, he'll go down.
Because they're allowed to fight anyone, right? So they're not very monitoring, like, you have paperwork.
We had this kid fighting, this little Russian kid, his name was Ivan out there when I was out in Thailand. And he was having his first fight. So he's walked out, they're like, Ivan from Russia, making his debut. And then they're like, his opponent from Thailand, 22-0. And this full-grown Thai walked out, full-grown man, had a chest tattoo and everything. And I'm thinking, this is like a kid, he's going to die. So I'm like, gone up to Kay and I'm like, Kay, it's a mismatch, he's going to die. Kay's come up to me, he's like, ha, mismatch. And he's just laughing. He didn't give a shit. The Thai come running at him, smashed him straight in his head with an elbow. His eye swelled up. And fair play to Ivan though, because he stuck in there for the whole fight. He stuck in there for the whole 3 rounds. Didn't stop him.
Well, did he get hurt?
Oh, he got hurt. He got a black eye and stuff like that. I think he got dropped, but he got back up and he survived the fight. So fair play. That's crazy. You'd think if you saw a full-grown man out here fighting like a 12-year-old, you think that kid's going to die.
Jesus.
Sort of thing.
Well, first of all, it would be never allowed to.
Shouldn't be allowed. Nah, they don't care out there. They don't. Not that they don't care, but like it's just so relaxed. Like you could just get away with so much out there. Like
I'm just wondering how many tourists get drunk and they go like, I'm gonna go fight.
Some people, thing is though, if you're not like fighting for like a proper like Thai gym out there, you can go to like their commercial gyms and stuff like that, and then you can go against like the tuk-tuk drivers who basically they make the other gym look good. So you go there and you hit them a couple of times, they whip the deck, and you feel like the man sort of thing. But then other times you can go out there and you go against an absolute killer, and then it's kick the fuck out of you. That's what happened to me. No, it was all right, but my ribs were battered from that fight. That was
And how many times have you been now in Thailand?
3 times. 3 times. The first time I went was end of 2022. So in the space of 2 years, I've gone 3 times, and I'm going next week as well. So 4 times in 2 years.
How long are you going to stay there?
This time I think I'm only there for a few weeks, I think. Because ideally the plan was to go out there and to fight out there. But Martin is like, saying, Sam, you can not fight with your leg the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'm out there for a few days by myself, so who knows what will happen on the few days. So it's just...
Mr. Masey, just amazing.
Man of many
Samuel Masey.
I feel like I'm in trouble with something, mum.
So which fight are we gonna watch first? We wanna
do it in order so it makes sense. So this one here, the Rio one.
This one?
No, the next one.
So this one is first one.
This one, yeah. So this is actually interesting. So the fight before, I'd lost that fight, and I was like, right, I need to make sure that I was moving up the levels from N class to C class. This is actually in my hometown in Bracknell. So I was like, I've got all my family and friends here. I know I've got to put a performance on. And Martin pulled me aside before the fight and was just like, listen, this lad's going to come to take your head off straight away. So like, wow, be ready. And I was nervous anyway. I was coming off a loss because I gassed out. So I was like, this ain't good. So but I found out that in this fight here, I fight best when I feel the pressure's on me and I feel like I have to be on it. Yeah. That's when I found out about like the nerves and stuff that I really learned about how to deal with it and stuff like that.
I'm just trying to figure out how to record this so I can show it. Or to be fair, we can just chat about it and I can put it later. Anyway, so here you go. That's the fight. Rhea Johnson versus Samuel Masey.
He was a tough lad. He was coming to take my head off. Yeah. He's the first person to give me a black eye. Give me 2 black eyes.
Really?
That was a Saturday and I was going out on a first date on a Monday and I went there with 2 black eyes.
How did he get you black eyes? With a fist or with a leg?
I don't remember. I feel like one of them was a teep to the face. And the other, I don't feel like he punched me much in my face. I feel like my guard was up.
Yeah.
But the teep to the face definitely landed.
So what you can tell like here about the technique? So he just...
So you can see he's coming very aggressive. I'm more like countering and defending.
That was close to your head.
Yeah, I kept my hands up. In Thai boxing, so the first like 1 and 2 rounds is sort of like the feeling out rounds, and then rounds 3, 4, and 5 is when you up it. So I know this is the second round. I knew I could still go through the gears, and I was still sort of feeling it. He was trying to step it up, and locked him up in the clincher. That wasn't too bad. He was strong in the clinch. I remember my corner team Gary. He was like, clinch him up, see how good he is. I was like, all right, cool. Clinched him, he's grabbed me, pulled me in, pulled my head down, kneed me. I was like, yeah, cool, I'm not doing that again.
And then you should look at the guy and say like, yeah, he's good.
I was like, I ain't doing that again. I'm staying away from him. But look, he's so like erratic and he was throwing so many shots and he was constantly coming forward.
Yeah, he's very aggressive.
And he's doing really well at the moment, to be honest with you. Fair play to him. I still speak to him.
But maybe your tactic is just tiring him out.
To be honest with you, I was nervous on this one to gas out because I knew I gassed out in my last. In my first fight, I stopped him in 2 rounds. I got a knockout in the start of the second round. So then in my second fight, I thought I'll do the same, and it didn't happen. So this fight, I was like, right, show that you've got the skills to actually go the distance with people and score, and you know what you're doing. So it was ring control, being relaxed, picking my shots, not wasting any energy, and I felt like I'd done all right with it, to be honest.
Yeah. You look good though there.
It was.
You look a little bit like Beckham, by the way.
Do you know what it's funny you say that because when I went to Thailand, one of the Thai guys was calling me Beckham, but like, I've never had anyone say that.
Because also tattoo, obviously, like the hairstyle, and I think it's your personality because you smile so much.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
That's all right.
But what people never tell you that you're a very smiley person.
Nah, not really.
Oh, shut up.
People say the opposite.
I think if I were checking it with AI somehow, like how much we seen your teeth and this, there's gonna be a lot.
Do you know what it is? When I'm talking about fighting, I'm happy. When I'm talking about this sort of thing,
I keep telling you, man, that's my happiness. Just your thing.
It just is. Like,
that's why you're so fucking good at it.
Yeah, I think that's the only way it is. It's just my passion. Like, it's just what I like. Like, so
because I totally believe that you as a kid, you are. I don't say totally believe, but I'm pretty sure you were not very interested in school.
Not massively. Nah, and I wasn't massively into sports. I love football, but I was never good at it.
But in school, studying.
Yeah, no, I wasn't into studying. No,
you were not into studying at all. And those usually, are you dyslexic, by the way?
Nah, probably not diagnosed though. This is a good one here. Let's step back, left hook, bosh, hold that.
Oof, nice.
This corner team love that. And that's my brother there jumping up. That was funny. But I wouldn't say I don't think I'm dyslexic.
No, because I'm not trying to. No, because I think I'm also not diagnosed because like I honestly, or I'm just stupid because I can't not remember how to spell certain words.
Yeah.
And in when I was writing in Latvian or in Russian, I was fucking so horrible. So anyways, but I always been into sports, and I think a lot of dyslexic kids are more into sports than because they from the very beginning they fucking can't do it.
Yeah.
You know, then they need to put that energy somewhere else.
I don't know what it was because I've never been able to stick to anything else. Like everything else I do for like a year or something, and then I get a bit bored. But fighting is especially Thai Thai boxing. Like, you can't. How can you get bored of it?
Yeah,
like,
you can hit each other in the head. Yes.
You can kick, you can punch, you can knee, you can. It's crazy. Like even now, like, I'm still learning so much. So it's mental. Yeah, this is the 4th round. So I was like, right, got to up it this one. My corner team said you're 3 up at this point. So I was like, I was feeling quite happy.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's up the kicks, because kicks will score more than boxing as long as your head's not getting rocked back. But bosh, that was a nice little shot.
Oh, that was really nice.
But then didn't do nothing with it really. Just like he covered up well there.
Yeah.
But I think this round I let my kicks like take over. I think I landed like 4 or 5 like unanswered kicks.
Ooh.
That was close.
Yeah, it's like it's the question mark hit, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
he kind of starts, and he's good.
Like, there was 2 kicks there, I think unanswered. Little step back here, I missed that one. It's quite funny, when I get backed up against the ropes, I do this with my hands, because I try to get him to throw a punch so I can counter. That was good. A little flurry there. And I think here's like there's 1. This is a good one. 2.
Ooh.
3. It's like a few unanswered shots here. 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's like 7 or 8 unanswered kicks. So that's like quite a good score in Thai boxing.
Oh, they actually count the scores?
Yeah. So if you kick and you don't kick back, then it's normally a good score. The low kicks don't score as big as unless it's like causing a lot of damage. But there, where I was.
How much do you score for a knockout head kick?
Massive. Massive. That looks good. I basically got that in my first fight. Like, we was drilling look down, kick up, or look down, kick high sort of thing. So I was blasting his leg, staring at his leg, and then I just went high on the last kick and he didn't see it. Nice. It's a great picture in the gym. He's like putting his hand down like that, and it was just like a clean shot to the chin. That was my first ever fight. Everyone was like wanted to see what I was about. Now that it covers this bit up, I was dead here. I was like,
and for you, this fight was number what?
My 3rd fight.
3rd fight.
Yeah, my 3rd.
And this is still considered to be amateur, right?
Semi-pro technically, yeah, because obviously it's bare shin and stuff like that. So if this was K1,
you still have some clothes on.
Yeah, I still got some sort of clobber on me. Yeah, I was dead at this point. I couldn't breathe. I thought, I'm 4 rounds up. I just got to survive.
Do you know that he figured? Do you think he figured it out? That you did?
Rio, I think so. I think he knew he had to come take my head off, and he was doing that for most of the fight. But he knew this round, if he didn't knock me out or knock me down, I think he knew I won it. So he put the pressure on, and he's as game as they come. He fights everyone like this. Comes forward, pressure. He's a solid fight. It was a perfect fight for me at my stage of my career then.
Yeah.
That was a good score on the back there. See, like all my family behind there all stand up. That's my brother in the red t-shirt. That's Kibra in the vest. He had fought earlier in the day. So like all my family was there. So I was like, I have to make sure, like, except my mum. She can't come to none of the fights.
No.
Nah, she just stays at home and cries, bless her. Big up, mum. She goes mad every time I come home and I'm like, I've accepted this fight, by the way. She's, you taking the piss. Fucking when are you going to knock...
Renarspodcast.